It's the first warm Saturday of May 2025. You shuffle onto the patio in bunny slippers, coffee in hand, expecting the usual meh patch of lawn, and instead stare at foliage so dense it looks like your yard has joined the witness protection program. A suspicious neighbor cat immediately noses into the kale, convinced you've planted a seafood platter. How did we get here? By stacking hard, up-to-date data on top of a few timeless gardening truths, none of which are imaginary this time around. Buckle up the video. We're turning your backyard into the botanical equivalent of a theme park, minus the $12 churros. 1. What's hot in 2025 gardening? Micro gardens and vertical everything. Garden Media Group's Nature's Renaissance report says 47% of Gen Z plant parents grow food in spaces under 100 square foot, using hydro towers and rolling planters on wheels that park between desk and dishwasher. Year-round harvests. LED racks with full-spectrum diodes have dropped below $100, letting renters crank out salad greens 365 days. Vertical farming revenue is set to hit $9.6 billion in 2025. Native plant chic. More than 60% of homeowners plan to replace part of their lawn with low-water natives this year, up from 37% in 2022, says the Curb Appeal 2025 survey. Tech-boosted gardening. From Bluetooth moisture probes to AI seeding calendars, the consumer hydroponics market hits $6.23 billion in 2025, growing 12.6% annually. Translation: gardens in 2025 are smaller, smarter, tougher, and unapologetically vertical. The old no space, no harvest excuse just officially expired like last month's forgotten lettuce. 2. Map check. The USDA's 2023 Plant Hardiness Update. Remember memorizing your zone like a social security number? Time to pull out an eraser. The 2023 map uses data from 13,412 weather stations, nearly double the 2012 version, and shows about half the country has warmed a half zone. Alaska's new resolution shrinks from 6¼ square mile pixels to 1/4 square mile, revealing micro-warm pockets where rhubarb once feared to tread. Oranges in Charleston, West Virginia, possibly. Blue spruce in Phoenix? Maybe don't. Action hook. Punch your zip into the USDA's interactive map before you impulse buy that Japanese maple. Then stick the zone number on your fridge like a Wi-Fi password. 3. Soil first. The underground gossip column. On 24 April 2025, German startup Soiletics partnered with European pistachio and almond growers to run DNA sequencing on 500+ orchard soil samples, correlating microbe diversity with nut size and shelf life using an AI dashboard. Early plots showed orchards with high populations of Bacillus subtilis saw yield bumps of 12%, the Wall Street equivalent of beating the S&P by a mile. DIY takeaway. Treat your soil like sourdough starter. Feed it compost. Reduce tilling, add leaf mulch, and let beneficial bacteria throw a foam party. Studies show biologically active beds retain up to 25% more water during heat waves, so your carrots won't swoon when July hits. In short, the coolest nightlife in town is happening 2 inches under your tomatoes. 4. 2025's headliner plants. All America Selections winners. Variety key category Wyatt Rocks Basil, Piedmont edible herb. The immune to downy mildew, scored 9.7 out of 10 flavor at AAS trials. Hello Endless Pesto, Cauliflower Murasaki Fioretto 70F1, Magational Edible Lavender Florets, 15-day wider harvest window, keeps its cool above 95 degrees Fahrenheit. Pepper Pick and Pop Yellow F1 SYS Snack Pepper, Widrus Stacked Resistance Package plus 50-day fruiting perfect for lunchboxes. Edible blooms that act like neon vacancy signs for pollinators. Slip these VIPs into containers, raised beds, or hanging baskets, and watch garden tour guests beg you for cuttings like groupies after a rock show. 5. Fragrance with facts. Turning your yard into a natural perfume counter. Looking to perfume the patio without lighting a candle that smells like grandma's purse? A June 2025 Washington Post list puts heliotrope, sweet alyssum, night-scented stock, and star jasmine at the top of plants that trick the nose into thinking you're baking vanilla cupcakes. Sweet alyssum edges out its rivals by blooming from 50 degrees Fahrenheit nights, right through 100 degrees Fahrenheit dog days. No perfume bottle required. Pro move. Mass plant alyssum along stepping stones so every footfall kicks up honeyed air. Then flank seating areas with scented geraniums for a citrus pop that also deters mosquitoes. Congratulations, you just built a smell track for sunset cocktails. 6. Water wizardry. Outsmarting drought and your utility bill. Swapping the old clock timer for an EPA WaterSense labeled controller trims up to 15,000 gallons a year per household. Scaled nationwide, that's 390 billion gallons and $4.5 billion saved. Layer on Swan's 65% recycled rubber Soaker Pro hose that sips water at 0.5, 1 gallon foot per hour, and uses 70% less water than sprinklers, thanks to a patented blue restrictor. Top the beds with a 3-inch armor of shredded leaves and suddenly irrigation is a nearly silent, drip-by-drip affair. Hook. Imagine your next water bill showing a number so low, you think they forgot a digit. 7. Gadget corner. When your tomatoes text you. Paper and pencil sensors. Gauhati University scientists built graphene oxide probes using notebook paper and 2B pencils, 40 times cheaper than commercial units, and accurate enough to warn farmers before drought stress hits. Zigbee soil probes. Third Reality's 1999 smart sensor pings Alexa when beds hit Sahara, sports an IP67 shell, and integrates with Home Assistant dashboards, so you can chart moisture against binge watch hours. LetPot 2.0, this app-driven drip kit waters up to 20 pots, features an anti-backflow valve, and claims 21 days of autonomy. Perfect for people who forget to water, but never forget Netflix passwords. Bottom line, couch gardening is real. The plants grow while you rewatch a series. 8. Climate-savvy and fire-wise design. Wildfire season is no longer a Western exclusive, so Epic Gardening's list of 25 fire-wise plants has become yard gospel. Aloe vera, yarrow, and Russian sage keep leaf moisture high and volatile oils low, earning top 10 fire resistance scores in state databases. The trick: plant them within the first 5 feet of your home's perimeter, dubbed the home ignition zone, to slow embers like botanical speed bumps. Layer heat-tolerant natives behind them, and you'll craft a border that shrugs off drought and doesn't double as kindling. 9. Pollinator power-ups. Circle June 16, 2025 on the calendar. That's Pollinator Week, rocking the theme Pollinators Weave Connections. The toolkit urges gardeners to photograph bees, bats, and butterflies for a continental bio-blitz, linking habitat patches the way pollinators link ecosystems. Quick wins: sow keystone natives like goldenrod, leave autumn leaf litter until spring to shelter larvae, and set out a marble-filled dish so thirsty bees don't drown. Result? Bigger harvests, buzzy Instagram reels, and neighborhood bragging rights. 10. IPM 2025, because spray and pray is so 1999. The Northeastern IPM Center's May 23 webinar lineup spotlights camera trap monitoring, degree day calculators, and attract and kill lures using Bacillus thuringiensis for codling moth suppression tech, once reserved for large orchards, now offered to home growers for the cost of a movie ticket. Adopt the 4Ds: diversify crops, detect pests early, deploy biocontrols, discourage invaders with barriers. Suddenly, aphids register as lady beetle hors not a crisis. 11. The 8-step 2025 Lush Garden Formula. Remap your zone with the interactive USDA tool and label every seed packet with its comfort range. Feed the underground 2 inches of compost plus no-till for a microbiome that rivals Soily Tick's orchard benchmarks. Pick 2025 winners Piedmont basil in pots, Murasaki Fioretto in beds. Pick and pop peppers for kid snacks. Design in layers drought-tough natives in back, aloe and yarrow firewise at the front. Wire up WaterSense Smart Controller, plus Swan Soaker, plus mulch Goldilocks moisture every time. Invite pollinators goldenrod, bee baths, zero neonics, and a June BioBlitz selfie hunt. Practice IPM, weekly camera traps and BT lures instead of broad-spectrum blitzes. Automate and chill. Let pot drips, Zigbee probes, and an alert when your tomatoes get thirsty. so you can keep sipping iced tea. Follow the list, and by August, your backyard will look like it's running a chlorophyll-powered startup, staffed entirely by bees. 12. Turn green envy into inspiration. The secret isn't secret. Layer real-time science onto old-school joy, and the result is a yard so vibrant, even delivery drivers stop for selfies. Vertical farm market data forecasts 24% CAGR through 2029, proving the green wave is only cresting higher. So compost fearlessly, mulch generously, automate shamelessly, and brag responsibly. The neighbor's tuna-obsessed cat, the mail carrier, and every wandering pollinator will wonder how you pulled off a jungle without quitting your day job, and you'll just raise your coffee mug with a wink. Your 2025 paradise is officially open for tours, and that's how you turn your backyard into a lush, envy-inducing jungle without a machete. If your neighbor's cat is already suspicious, you're doing it right. If you learned something new, don't forget to subscribe for more garden hacks. Give this video a thumbs up. Your plants will thank you.